If you can produce art on demand, you can scale your personal brand like Apple without the complex logistics of physical iPhones, but with the permissionless leverage of social media. Create what you were born to create and become legendary like Steve Jobs because you found your true calling in life. I started this new channel and grew it from 0 to 5,000 subscribers in 6 months. My most watched video got over 800,000 views as we speak. The channel itself got over 1 million views and earned me a little bit over $650. And the great thing about social media is that you don't need permission to create an account or start posting on YouTube. Even Andrew still shows up everywhere on social media. Most of it consumed, some create, very few leverage it to get what they want out of life. I think there are 3 stages in life, and most of people stuck in the first stage, they never reach a higher state after that. I call it the map pyramid. First, you remove the need for money, which is the first stage. Then you find your true calling. And when you start creating the art you were born to create, you finally find peace and ultimate freedom. In a world full of imangatsis who only upload video sales letters to YouTube, and interestingly, he doesn't even like to create them, there's another planet available. The planet full of art. Something you truly love to create for its own sake. The one thing that brings you into a deep flow state every single moment of the day. It reminds me of a quote from Naval. I really want to do things for their own sake. That's one definition of art. Whether it's in business, exercise, romance, friendship, whatever. I think the meaning of life is to do things for their own sake. Ironically, when you do things for their own sake, you create your best work. An activity that no longer feels like a waste of precious time and still brings you financial freedom, but as a byproduct, no longer as the only product. That's what I call art. Stop wasting time, stop chasing money, start creating art, start achieving peace, finally. If you're new here, I'm Jordan, did over $4 million in revenue, hired over 40 people, and started making videos in 2012. And right now I'm sharing how I grow my personal brand, achieve financial freedom and peace in my life. And becoming a successful content creator has nothing to do with luck, niche, hard work, fancy editing, growth hacks, your equipment, talented employees or competitor research, but everything to do with the mind. When I was writing, I was planning to share 17 things that I could come up with that I learned since making videos in 2012. But honestly, they don't matter when you can't master these 3 things. Number 1, the mind. Number 2, the mind. Number 3, the mind. The man who knows that he lives in a prison will find a way to break free from it. But the one who believes that he is free while being imprisoned will remain imprisoned forever. So I have a question to you. Do you think that reaching 1 million subscribers on YouTube will solve your problems? Do you think one viral video will make you happy? Are you a slave to your mind or ready to break free? I've noticed a pattern in all my endeavors, from startups to passion projects to content, personal brand. And every time I was 100% committed, I got what I wanted. And every time I said to myself, I'm going to try it, it failed. But don't let these words trick you and make you think you need to commit. Because you can't fake your way into commitment. It has to be true. It has to be real. It is deep and only found by self-honesty. Self-honesty is your only savior. Self-honesty helps you find it, what you are chosen to do, your true calling in life, your birthright, your mastery. Ask yourself what you truly want out of this life. When you find that answer, commitment just appears. It just happens. Like a leaf falls from a tree. No effort needed. I think it's because you simply cannot live with the fact of not doing that thing. And only those who find it have a chance to become legendary in their field. Not because they want to or that they have to, but because their life would be seen as a waste without it. Everyone is obsessed with something, and the only thing that they will get in their life consistently is the thing that they are obsessed with. So here's the honest truth about how I grew my YouTube channel from 0 to 5,000 subscribers rather quickly. It's because it was my greatest desire at that time. And the greatest desire always wins. So then you may ask, how do you find your greatest desire? It's actually quite easy to see your current greatest desire. Just look at the results in your life. To me, for a very long time, they were both revenue and team size. Because that's what I got. I made $4 million in revenue and I got a team of 12 employees. And when I realized that wasn't what I wanted. Everything changed effortlessly. The mind is powerful. You learn how to control it, or it will control you. And don't believe me, just ask yourself these questions to find out who controls who. Do you feel good if your video gets more views? Do you feel bad if your video doesn't get views? Do you feel good if you receive a positive comment? And do you feel bad if you receive a hate comment? To take control of the mind, understanding is the only way. It comes from asking deep questions. When you find the root of the tree, you can finally start climbing it. So I know I talk a lot, very philosophical. I like to think deeply. Oh, what's practical? This is one thing that practically helped me a lot. It's what I call the walk and talk. I walk several times a week, and when I do, I talk to my voice memo app. I question my mind, I ask very deep questions, and I want to find the reason of the emotion I feel at that day, at that moment, whether it's a negative or positive emotion. And I don't recommend trying this, because if you start doing this just like another thing you do, practicing meditation or journaling with your golden pen, then you will be wasting your time. I started doing it not because anyone recommended me to do it. It came from an internal desire to start solving my problems by speaking my thoughts out loud. It came from an internal desire to try to solve my own problems by speaking out my thoughts out loud. And when I tried it for the first time, the reward that I got from it was invaluable, and I kept doing it ever since. So what I'm trying to say is that self-experimentation is the only path to true freedom. Anything else is just fake, and it usually is there just for ego, right? So you can tell anyone around you how many books you read, how many stuff you did. Disclaimer, don't believe me once again. Ask yourself, did meditation give you lasting peace in your life, or did you just become a better meditator? Did reading those money-making books make you more money, or did you just become a better reader? If you could master singing by listening to Michael Jackson, then many singers would be legendary. The true legends that once lived in this world listened to no one but themselves. They disregarded all the external opinions for what they really are, a way to become more average and like the external world. Instead, they followed their internal instinct and became legendary. Your best work comes from instinct. Writing is instinctual. Painting is instinctual. Dancing is instinctual. Fighting is instinctual. True art just comes. So what art do you desire to create? And if you find that out, success on YouTube will be inevitable. And true peace, freedom, however you want to call it, is experienced every single moment of doing it, of creating that art. If it still sounds fake, I made another video where I talk about it more. You can watch it here somewhere. And the serious person may check the show notes to discover more. Talk soon.